Hello. If you have received a collection notice from the IRS, owe $10,000 or more, or have unfiled returns, and you are ready to solve this problem to avoid having your wages garnished, your bank account drained, and your life upended, and want to resolve it without going to the poorhouse or making payments for the rest of your life, then this short video will show you how to fix your tax problem, even if you haven't filed for years. So you can eliminate IRS-induced stress, sleep well at night, and reclaim your life. Hi, I am Felicia McDonald, an IRS enrolled agent and certified tax resolution consultant. My team of licensed tax professionals and I help people like you resolve their tax problems for the lowest amount possible. Like a self-employed taxpayer who owed the IRS over $106,000 in unpaid back taxes, we got the IRS to settle for only $3,300. Or a taxpayer who owed $55,000 for tax year 2019, and the IRS wanted them to pay $1,100 a month, which they couldn't afford. We were able to negotiate an affordable $600 a month payment to the IRS and reduce his penalties by 50%, so he could get his life back and no longer live in fear. Then there's my divorced client who had a $17,000 penalty due to his inability to obtain records from his estranged spouse. We filed a formal penalty abatement request and had the entire penalty removed. The fact is that the IRS is the most brutal collection agency on the planet and can use that power to threaten your livelihood, cause relationship problems, and make your life a living hell. Having back tax problems is one of the most stressful things most people experience in their lives, and trying to ignore the problem, hoping it goes away, only makes it worse. My guess is you didn't intend to fall behind in paying your taxes, but one thing led to another. Soon, you were so far behind that you didn't know what to do, and maybe you even prayed that the IRS wouldn't catch on. You're not alone. Thousands of good people haven't filed their taxes for years and now have the IRS threatening them. What's sad is how that causes high levels of stress, anxiety, and even depression. People tell us they get a sick feeling in their stomach when they go to their mailbox. We know of loving relationships that have been torn apart because of the financial stressors. And the weight of owing the IRS substantial back taxes can feel like an anvil around your neck, dragging you to the bottom of the ocean. Since you're watching this video, I know you want to resolve your back tax problem. You probably have done research online to find a solution. Maybe you've gone to the IRS website searching for an answer. Maybe you've contacted a local accountant but were told that they didn't handle this type of work. Maybe you wrote to the IRS explaining your situation but didn't get a response. Or you tried calling only to be put on hold forever and a day. Or worse, maybe you even contacted one of those tax relief companies bombarding the radio and television airways, only to deal with a high-pressure salesperson who only cared about making a big commission. If you owe the IRS a substantial amount of money but are frustrated and worried because you don't know what to do, who to trust, or what your next step should be, please listen carefully to what I'm about to say to you, because after helping people from coast to coast with significant tax problems, I can tell you that the number one reason people struggle to fix their problem is they lack an action plan for dealing with the IRS and getting their tax problem permanently resolved. Nearly everyone we've talked to over the years has tried one or more haphazard ways to fix their problem, but ended up frustrated and even more stressed. To fix your back tax problem and stop the IRS from harassing you, you need a step-by-step system that is proven to work 100% of the time. For example, another client was facing a wage garnishment and bank levies for $63,000 in unpaid back taxes. We used the system to get everything released. This saved her from an embarrassing situation from her employer and got her life back on track. So, in the next few minutes, I'll share with you the exact 3-step system I've used to help people solve even the most complicated and expensive tax problems. I promise that when you follow this system, you will fix your problem, stop IRS harassment, and get your life back, regardless of how dire your situation feels right now. Okay, the first step is to take control and stop ignoring the problem. Your tax problem isn't going away on its own. Ignoring the problem will make it worse because you will owe more and more taxes plus penalties and dig yourself into an even deeper hole. So the first step is to decide that you will do whatever it takes without excuses to resolve your back tax issue. As corny as it may sound, we encourage you to commit to it in writing. Get a piece of paper and write, I commit to myself and my family to do whatever it takes to resolve my tax problem. Sign, date it, and put it somewhere you can see it daily. This simple first step will help move you from fear and worry to resolve and determination. Step number 2 is to design the ideal offer that the IRS will accept so you can get a settlement or resolution. Winging it or hoping the IRS will suggest a plan that's best for you is a disaster. Remember that the IRS cares about what's best for them, not you. You don't want to negotiate with the IRS from a position of weakness by accepting whatever they offer to just get it over with. While this may temporarily feel good, but you can't follow through and make the payments. You'll have a broken promise to the IRS, and the result will be in a worse position than when you started. You also don't want to negotiate with the IRS from a position of arrogance, demanding that you pay almost nothing. Yes, the goal is to pay the lowest amount possible, but making the IRS a lowball offer will show them that you aren't serious and force them to use their nearly unlimited power to collect every penny you owe, or in the most serious, albeit rare cases, have you serve prison time. The offer you make the IRS is a serious matter that you need to carefully think through. Depending on your situation, some strategies include paying small amounts over time until the IRS runs out of time to collect it, asking for a reduction in penalties, offering a lump sum payment in exchange for a reduction of what is owed, proving hardship status to reduce and in some cases greatly reduce your liability. Often, a combination of these strategies will work best, so having a well thought out plan is mission critical before negotiating with the IRS. Assuming you have the correct strategy, step number 3 is to powerfully and persuasively present your offer to the IRS. Here are some crucial things you need to know about that. Be prepared to wait on hold for up to 3 hours when you call the IRS. When you finally reach someone, don't be surprised if they act friendly. But as we've discussed, they are not concerned about what's best for you. Expect the IRS agent to grill you with detailed financial and technical questions you must know the answers to. Likely, the IRS agent will tell you that you can make unaffordable payments until your tax debt is paid in full. If you tell them that you can't afford these payments, the agent will, in most cases, tell you, fine, we'll just garnish your wages or start taking money from your bank account within the next 30 days. Please listen carefully. Knowing what to say, what not to say, and how to talk to the IRS is almost as important as the plan you designed before calling them. Saying the wrong thing or the right things in the wrong way can derail the entire negotiation and put you in a weak position. So let me share with you some tips when talking to the IRS. As we discussed, have a plan and know what you want. If you go into the negotiation unprepared, you'll be eaten alive and forced to accept their plan, which will not benefit you. I suggest role playing with your spouse or friend before you make the call. Doing so should increase your confidence level. When you finally connect with an IRS agent, speak with respect and humility. Do not have the attitude of speaking with an adversary you're trying to defeat. This adversary is more powerful and has more weapons at their disposal than you. A little known negotiating strategy is to accept total responsibility for your tax problem. The IRS talks to thousands of people daily who accept no responsibility and who are adversarial. Humility and kindness go a long way. The IRS agent will listen and then ask for specifics and possibly some documentation. You must have that information on hand and not ask if you can call back later. While in most cases the IRS will agree to that, your goal should be to reach an agreement on the very first call. You can't do that unless you are prepared and have all your ducks in a row. If you do everything right, you will reach a resolution and you will be done. So far, we've discussed what can happen if your IRS problem isn't fixed, what you should and shouldn't do, and a high-level overview of the system for talking to the IRS and fixing your tax problem. While my three-step system looks simple on the surface, as with any powerful process, many more details are hidden under the hood. You can try to figure out everything and take your chances with the IRS on your own, or you can work with someone who already knows all the ins and outs of the IRS maze and can fix your problem for you as efficiently and effectively as possible for the lowest amount allowed by the law. And that's what we do for our clients who are ready to resolve their tax problems once and for all, so they can stop worrying in sleepless nights, never fear going to the mailbox again, and get back to enjoying their lives. If that sounds like you and you're 100% serious about resolving your tax problem, so you can start enjoying life again without the stress of having a tax debt hovering over your head, we should talk, because our mission is to help people who owe the IRS a substantial amount of money and are committed to fixing their problem, accomplishing their goals, and reclaiming their lives. If that sounds like you, click the Schedule Your Tax Relief Strategy Session button you see on the screen. We'll talk about your situation, and I'll share with you what needs to be done to resolve it most favorably for you. As I mentioned earlier, I'm a licensed tax professional who has been doing this for years. I will diagnose your problem and tell you how to fix it. At the end of your call, you'll make one of two decisions. If you want to work with us to fix your problem, that's great. If you decide we're not a good fit, that's fine too. Please understand that the tax relief strategy session is for people who owe the IRS a substantial amount of money and are serious about fixing that problem. If you owe the IRS less than $10,000, I recommend you find a way to just pay them and be done with it. The strategy session is for folks that have a more substantial problem, are sick and tired of worrying about it, and want to solve it immediately. Quite frankly, it's for people who are willing to invest to solve their problems and get their lives back. The strategy session is not for people who won't accept responsibility for their circumstances, or who are just gathering information in hopes of finding a cheap way to solve a difficult problem. The strategy session is for people who are ready to take the bull by the horns and resolve their tax problem instead of just thinking about it. This action taker and not excuse maker mentality is the type of person I love to help and describes my very best clients who get tremendous results. If that sounds like you, I'd love to help. The next step is to click the button you see on the screen and schedule your strategy session call. If you're ready, the time for us to talk is now for two reasons. First is that the IRS does not play games. The longer you wait to fix the problem, the worse it gets. The second reason is that I work with a limited number of clients per month, so they can get my focused attention. So if you're ready, click the button below and apply for a tax relief strategy session right now. Thank you.